Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. There behind the glass stands a real blade of grass. Be careful as you pass. Move along, move along. Come inside, the show's about to start. Guaranteed to blow your head apart.
Hello, welcome back to Real Do-It-Yourself Build. In the previous video, we built the walls up almost to wall plate height. In order to finish those, we're going to have to put the lintels in, and we're going to have to put the cavity trays in and then build up a little further. So we're going to do that in today's video. So today's video is going to be all about the lintels, the cavity trays and the regulations that surround those, then building up to wall plate, fitting the wall plate, and then starting to fit the first joists that are going to support the roof. And when we do that, we're going to be looking at the spans that those joists go across and the regulations that tell us the size of joists we need for those spans. So it's all about getting up and starting the roof today. Let's go and build. So today we're going to fit the lintel, and this is the lintel we're going to be fitting across the main opening, which is here, and it's 2.1 meters long. It's a cat neck lintel. It's got insulation inside built in, and you can see the slope on the top of the lintel. That slope goes towards the front of the front of the wall, or the front of the cavity, so that if any water does get in, it will run off towards the front. But of course, on top of the lintel, we're going to have a cavity tray, and the cavity tray will prevent any water ever even reaching the lintel, but we'll show you how that goes in when we come to do it. We'll also be having at the front of the lintel, we'll also have weep holes, which we've got little plastic fittings to go in, and we'll show you how they work when we put them in. Tray on, and this is going to link into the bricks below and into the bricks above. Into the blocks above, and it's going to steer all of any water that gets into the cavity. It'll steer it to the front and out through the little weep holes that we're going to put in a short while. Okay, so I'll just place a brick on there. Can you just pass me a brick? Place a brick on there to hold it in place just for now, and then make sure that's all in position, and this will go up and then it will key into the block above, and that will provide us with a nice waterproof membrane in the cavity. So we've got a little weep hole going in here. You can see that the back of it is out to the back of the brick, and the front of it's poking out, just there, poking out, so that water will be able to come down the back here into the weep hole and then all the way through. So anything that comes down the cavity tray will have a way out, and it won't get trapped above the window and eventually cause problems for the lintel or problems for the window or the door. Okay, so the cavity tray's in now, and it goes from the back of the brick, down the back of the brick and underneath these bricks, and then it goes up over the lintel, and then we're going to trim it, and it'll just tuck into these blocks just about that far, and then the wall plate will be going on top of that, which will hold everything in place. So any water will come down. Any water that ever gets into the cavity, if the roof ever leaks or anything, will come down, reach the cavity tray, come to the front, go down behind these bricks, and then come out of the weep holes that we've built into the brickwork. There's 3 of those. We've got one in the centre of the span and one at each end. Okay, so we've finished the side wall. We've got the lintel in. We've got our brickwork above the lintel, and we're ready to put our door in and our window in this side. So now what we're going to do is just finish where the back door is going to be, and Terry's just about to try out with the Bricky Pro and see how he gets on with that. This is his first time ever bricklaying, so let's see how this works. Okay, filling it up.
Natural.
His skills. These are the skills that pay the bills.
Skills to pay bills. Or not.
Little tap there with the trowel.
Gotta give it a little tap.
Gotta give it a little tap.
Start with a little tap. No, go on, that'll do now.
Still using the Bricky Pro. Still losing the Bricky Pro. So the plan is to take the roof off now. What we're going to do is take this lintel out, open the wall up, put a bigger lintel on, so that this then becomes a big opening rather than a doorway. And that's going to make the whole thing into a big L-shaped kitchen. In order to make the old utility room a part of the new extension, we had to remove the roof, and we had to remove the lintel over what used to be the back door. Once the roof and lintel were off, we marked out the width of our new opening, and we cut down the top couple of rows of bricks, and we put a new box lintel in across the new span. On top of the box lintel we also put a beam of wood that was at the same height as the wall plate, and this was going to be a midway resting point for the roof joists. We then fitted the wall plate onto the extension. Now the regulations regarding the wall plate are that it needs to sit on a bed of mortar, And the reason for that is so that you don't get any point loading. If one of your blocks is a little higher than another, then all of the weight would be on that block. But with a bed of mortar along the length of the wall plate, that spreads the load. Also, the wall plate has to be fastened down, and you can see that there are straps going from the top of the wall plate down the side of the wall. These are around 1 metre long, the ones that we used, and those straps fasten onto the top of the wall plate and the side of the wall plate, and then they fasten to the wall all the way down. Okay, so we've got the wall plate on, as you can see, and what we're doing at the moment is fastening it down. We're using these straps here to fasten it down, and what they are is they're 1 metre long, 1 metre long steel straps, and all we're doing is putting them on top of the wall plate, and then we're marking the wall all at set distances. Maximum distance is 2 metres, but we've come inside that just to make it a little bit stronger, and we're going to mark the wall, drill it, and then fasten this on, and then go on top and screw it to the top of the wall plate to hold it down. Yes, how we're going to do it. Drill. Wall plugs in. Tap those in. And when I find my hammer, okay, last thing to do now is to go on top and screw down into the wood so it holds it all firmly in place. I can just do that now. Okay. And that's the wall plate fastened down. So with the wall plate on, the next thing to do is fit the roof. But before we could do that, we needed to work out what size joists we needed. And for that, we used the span tables. So if you look at the table, from left to right, you've got the breadth in millimetres, the depth in millimetres, and then the maximum clear span. Now the breadth is how thick the wood is, the depth is how wide the wood is, and the maximum clear span is how long the wood is going to need to be. Now to stop it flexing too much, you would need to pick the piece of wood that matches the span. So if we go down the first of the span columns and work our way down, our span is around about 3 metres. So if we work our way down that left hand column, the very first time we come to 3 metres is 3.33, and it's a 38mm thick joist, 170 millimeters deep. So more or less it's close to 2 by 7. So if you look through the chart, you can see, or through the plan, you can see that there's other sizes, other thicknesses of joist that you can get that would work. We went with the 47 by 170 in the end because we felt that it might be necessary to walk on the roof sometimes and we wanted it to be really strong. So just fasten the brackets on now, making sure that they're nice and flush. Put a nail in every hole, and away we go. And then as soon as the 2 brackets are on, we'll lift it up into place. When the brackets are on, we'll lift it up into place and we'll fasten it down. Okay, so now we're starting to put the roof on. We've completed the wall plate. You can see all these straps holding it down where it's fastened on. And the joists are 170 by 47. And there they all are in there. We've fitted the first one. We're using brackets to hold it onto the wall plate. Well, thanks for watching. In our next video, we're going to show you how we build the roof and how we make sure that the insulation from the walls meets the insulation in the roof in order to comply with building regulations. We're going to be building what's called a warm roof, and I'll explain all that to you in the next video. So please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.